Welcome to presentation of Batch Export Pro functionality. This is my common organization of files where I have bake mesh, textures and other folders. And instead of changing its name like this, export, then press, export, etc. Right, copy the name, export, press the name. We don't need to do it with Batch Export Pro. We will simply select every mesh that we want to export. We will not use export names. If export name is empty, then it will not be used anyway, so we can disable it in settings. We will use the clear location to have it set to 000 when exporting. Now we will just export it. Press export and we have all of those exports here. I will hide those meshes and let's try to import them now. As you can see, each one will get imported at the point of 000. We have different export formats for our meshes. We can select from FBX, OBJ or STL at the moment. If there will be requests, I will add more formats. Each format has all of its settings from the normal Blender methods of exporting that you can adjust. It goes for STL. STL has adjusted the scale to 1000, so it's compatible with 3D printing from out of the box. OBJ has, I do not really use OBJ, so it has just default settings that are in the OBJ exporter. Let me know if there are any common issues that need addressing here. I will set them as default. FBX has its geometry set to smoothing face. This is for Unreal Engine, and in Armature disabled add leaf bones, so our rigs will be exported without those leaf bones. Here we can select our object types, the same as in the regular exporter. Just to prove that it works, we will export the OBJ. We will refresh and we have our MTL and OBJ files for each of it. Exporting of meshes that will be used for texture baking and texturing in Substance Painter. First we're gonna look at our low poly. This is our example that we will use. This is not rigged. I have it named bare body, no rig. We will export it as is, also with the high poly that's in place, and we will bake it. First let's export our bare body. We'll set for him export name bare body. It is low poly, so it will be underscore LP. Click enter, and now we will look at our folder structure. There is our file, project file in here, textures, mesh and animes folders. Here is our mesh folder, and here is also our folder structure. And if we press mesh export, we will get it exported here to the mesh folder. If we click bake export and there is no bake folder yet, it will create it. We have to refresh. Now we have bake mesh here. Here is our bare body. We will be using bake folder for this because this is for baking. Let's hide the low poly. Let's select the whole thing. Let's select anything as our base. This will be bare body underscore HP, so high poly. Now we can see it's only on the active object. So to have it on each object, we press assign to selected. Now each object has this export name. And what happens now, if we press bake export, it will take a while because it's 7 million triangles, and we have it exported here as this one file named HP. If we turn off the export name and export it without the export name tool, then we will have each object exported separately by its object name. So we press bake export again. It will take exactly probably the same amount of time to save it to multiple files. Now we refresh it and we have so many of those files. Everything got exported separately. You can also enable and disable it in the settings. You can press combine also to do the same thing. If only you want it exported by object name, active object name, then you can combine it and it will get exported by the name of our active object, which is bare vest outline high poly. So just to present, we will export it under this name. Now we refresh, there it is. If we pick other thing, bare arms HP, we will press bake export and everything will be exported. If we clear our export name, assign it to everything, so pretty much everything is now clear, has no export name. We can check it in export groups. There are 161 files without name, one with low poly name. This is our low poly, bare body no rig, and here is the high poly, which has 0 users. So if we refresh list, we will see that there is no other entries. So now let's say we will export this as clothes, high poly, and we can add other things. So when we have our whole clothing, we press to assign it here to the group. We don't have two active objects. If we assign it, then we assign it back again to the empty. So to fix that, we'll just assign it to this group. Now 8 users, we have 8 files selected. This is our clothing. It will be exported to one file. Now I see I also forgot to add the sleeves, so we will add that also. If we think now we want to change this name because we forgot, we will enter a new export name. This will be bare clothes high poly. Now there is a visual glitch that doesn't matter. It sometimes appears as 2 entries. We can refresh our list to get it back to the 1 entry. It has no other effect than only a visual glitch. So we want to name our bare body high poly, and now to add it to our group, we'll deselect the clothes first, so they are all deselected. Now we have only bare body, and we will assign it to this group. Now we will select back our clothes and those two without combining, and now export it with export name. Now we have 2 files. If we wanted to only have the bare body high poly, then we will select active object that has this export name and we will press combine. This way we will get the whole export to one file. We'll refresh it. Okay. Now when we have it, we will export again our low poly and go to the Substance Painter to check problems with our bakes. You see there are problems with our mesh, high poly mesh, because we need to disable clear location, and we will combine it again. Bake export. Now we can go to Substance Painter. We will wait for it to reload. Here are some small problems, like, so to avoid this, we would separate our mesh, we would do the same for the teeth or the eyes of the character. In many environment parts or car parts, we will be also separating them when baking to avoid these baking mistakes. So what we will do here is we will select our class, we will use the object transform and offset location. We will want to set them probably in front of the character, so our mirror from the front will be still the same. Also we could probably set them down, but I will choose this time, let's say 1 meter to the front. This location, we will bring them back to previous location, and we will wait for body to upload. Now our claws are 1 meter in front of him, while in Blender file they are all at the same place. We can also change it from, if we want them to be lower, we will set -1 meter. We can also use this, and we will bake export it here. Now, to check if it worked, we will wait for it to refresh. And our claws are 1 meter below our character. But now we have the problem that our low poly is mismatched with them. So we need to adjust our low poly. Unfortunately, it's one object, so we will need to select all of our claws. Probably this will be the faster way. Separate them, select both. But to set the offset location, we'll set it to -1 meter. Now we will export it, re-import our mesh, and they are here. So with preserving of our scene, we can have our bakes separated. Now our bake is cleaner. Here is all good. Any errors wouldn't be visible. You can get this add-on in the links in the video description and also on my Gumroad and on the Blendermarket by searching for Batch Export Pro.